Hey guys, what's up? This video is very long, I get it, but if you guys want to listen to just one thing, please listen to this. Skip to the time period of 23 minutes and 20 seconds into the video. I get it, this video this week is very long. It's a different video where I'm critiquing myself and going through advice on my comments and a friend of mine gave me that I want to look through and improve my drawings. But there's a specific message that I really want people to hear, and I'm really disappointed that it took me so long in the recording to actually say all of this, because it's the best way to probably show my appreciation to my audience. So if you guys could skip to 23 minutes 20 seconds into the video and just watch that segment if you aren't willing to watch through an entire 30-minute long video. And I totally get that. I have a hard time sitting through a 5-minute video, let alone a 30-minute one. So if there's anything you guys want to take out, please go to kind of the outro section where I kind of thank you guys a lot, because I think I worded it really well, and I want you guys to understand how much I appreciate receiving comments in my videos, and hopefully it paints a bit of a picture. But guys, thank you. I hope you guys enjoy this video. It's very different from typical. It is me going through the advice you guys have given me and me reacting to them and kind of comparing my drawing. I think I say this a lot in the video, but the person who helped me out, her name was Caerulleo. Her stuff will be in the description. Please check it out, and I will appreciate it a lot. Enjoy the video, guys. Take good care. Okay, so let's take a look at these comments. So we're gonna head down lower into the main video. By the way, thank you for the support for this recent video. It's the best video that is ever performed on my channel. It's my first video that ever hit 1,000 views. It has 62 likes and 12 comments. I very much appreciate it. It's super helpful and very encouraging to see how it performs and how many people really enjoyed it. And you know, I had a good time. It really makes me want to try new things and constantly keep uploading for you guys. But we're here for the comment section, and again, guys, thank you so much. This is pretty much taking place of my comment section part of the video. Thank you guys, all of you guys, for commenting on my video and giving me words of encouragement, regardless if you give me advice or not. I always appreciate them, so thank you. I'm gonna try to pronounce these names real quick. I think I pronounce this Urza, right? Because Irsaah. If I have that wrong, type it phonetically or in something like that. Maybe I should search it up. But Urza Med 8284, John Patrick, thank you. Jake Twist, I'm just saying Twister. Jake Twister official, thank you. Coro Summer, thank you. Lit X 1471 and Paragon Comics, I appreciate all of it. So we're going to be focusing on these 3 comments because these are the ones that gave me advice to work on. So we're going to read them and see how I can apply it to Julia, which I should probably have pulled up. Give me a moment. I'm just going to move this to the side. Drawings. We're going to bring up Julia Final. All right. There we go. So let's read this one. Using foreshortening in drawings is fun and satisfying when you get it right, but it could be stressful if it doesn't play out as well. No one should blame themselves, as it is hard things to master. Another thing I think you should add to your drawings is a little thing called line of action. It can be used in both male and female figures, and it makes tons of difference in making characters look alive and pop out. Keep improving, dude. Now, line of action, I've heard of this concept before. It's not my first time hearing about it, but recently I decided to search up a YouTube video trying to figure out how I can make my drawings better, and I just searched up how to exaggerate poses online, and there's this video by Winged Canvas. She doesn't have a thumbnail on it, but it's a very good video. It's called Draw Exaggerated Poses Like a Pro. I'm gonna click on it actually. And she speaks about, there's an ad for Disney's Wish. She speaks about drawing exaggerated poses, and it's called, so it's right here, it's called Winged Canvas. The video is very, very good. She doesn't just talk about the line of action herself. She talks about like different, like she talks about 2 different poses, called one being an exaggerated pose and one being a dramatic pose. I think that was the wording she used. She also kind of adds like elements of animation in it. Like when if you're drawing a punch, don't draw the punch exactly, draw the follow-up to the punch. And there's just a lot of good advice that comes from this video, and I've only watched it one time, but I'm definitely going to keep watching it over and over and over because there's a lot of good advice on it. So if you guys haven't seen this video, go watch Winged Canvas. It's super good. I typically just give out these, like, I just typically offer a lot of YouTubers, because I think when I first made my original video, I said, we'll watch Ori Days. I learned from YouTube. So if you guys want any good references or videos. I'll typically offer them if I ever learn from videos like this, because most of my stuff doesn't come from like a book or like some course online from Colosso. It comes from these YouTube videos. So I would 100% recommend going to Winged Canvas. If you want anyone else to watch, if you want to do specifically manga art, I recommend Naoki Saito Illustrations. He does a lot of art particularly pertaining to manga, so I recommend him. But for the line of action, this was a very good channel to start with. So yes, thank you for your advice. I'm definitely going to start using a line of action more often. As you can see, most of my drawings, you can go back and watch my videos, they're very stand up. They just stand up, very straight, very boring, and even myself, I'm getting bored of drawing like that. So I'm going to definitely start picking up the pace and learning different things. I'm going to skip this one because we have something attached to this one that's super cool. So let's read this one. It helps in basic foreshortening to do this exercise. Go to a mirror, pull up your hand, and move the hand from your face towards the mirror and back a few times. The size of your palm from your wrist and the middle finger tips should cover the face from the chin to above the forehead. When pulling the hand towards the mirror, foregrounding it, the foreshortening creates the perception that the hand shifts the size from covering the face to be of equal portion size of the entire head. So this does make a lot of sense with the drawing of Julia, right? Because if the hand is supposed to go from the chin up to the middle of the forehead, if you were to take this and pretty much smack dab it in there, it should be the same size. And I think it might be a little bit oversized in my opinion, because I feel like if you were to take your finger and kind of match it up like that, it might be too thick. But I'm not entirely sure, because there's something to work on. But he definitely has a point there. In advanced foreshortening, using gestures when the hand is pulled back to the head and body foreshortening in a 3/4 pose, like in martial arts pose, the hand size shrink to half the size of the face. So, of course, this is a very standing straight pose. If I were to do it in the future, I would probably do it in a more 3/4 pose, because that to me looks more natural, and definitely it shows off your skill a lot more, being able to change the body's positioning while trying to foreshorten. But once I get there, I will definitely apply your tips. I appreciate it, Jake. Foreshortening is fun. Gestures test gesture skills and improve intentional line weight through depth. Thank you. I appreciate it. So definitely gonna have to take this a lot into consideration, and we actually take his advice and apply it to this dude's advice. So he didn't want me to give his socials or anything like that. He said he wanted to grow on his own. So I have the file right here behind my desktop. This guy, this madman, he took my drawing and decided to send me his recreation of Julia the way he does it. And he pretty much takes all of Jake's tips and applies it. He puts her in a 3/4 view, right? Kind of makes the hand he increases the size of the hand when it's near me, and it just looks so sick. Do you see that? Do you see how cool that looks? Let's do a comparison, right? Let's do a comparison, because my drawing is not as good. Let's be honest. We take Julia and we take his Julia, and look how cool that is. Even if you prefer his style or if you prefer my style, you have to admit, right? The technique, the way he does it, right, looks better than mine. And this is where I can definitely use this as a reference to redraw my creation and make it better. Because Julia, when you take a look, when you compare these two, she looks stiff. My Julia looks extremely stiff. She's standing up completely straight. She doesn't have any lean to it, right? It just feels like this one just feels more natural. And then if you were to take the tip from above, where it's the line of action, you can draw the line of action like this, where it's curved. You take mine, it should never be straight. The video, Winged Canvas's video, states that the line of action should never be straight, because it would leave your video stiff and unnatural, right? So straight, not straight, there's a clear difference here. Even if you can't particularly point it out, you can see with your eyes and be like, yeah, one's a lot better. Also, I really like how he does the lightning. I don't know why mine looks so bad comparative to that, but geez, it looks so cool. I would love to shout him out. I would love to show more of his like stuff, but he told me not to, which is super weird. But whatever, man. Do your own. I appreciate you doing all that. That was super cool. We're gonna read your comment right now, because I probably shouldn't, skip over that. Usually we draw it from the perspective of a camera lens. Studying the different lenses will help you in determining the extremes of the foreshortening of the character and the background. I sketched Julia doing the same pose in a wider lens, and I don't know how to send it to you, so we sent it through my to my Instagram. I don't really do off my Instagram. I don't really like to show it. I don't use Instagram for that, so I'm not gonna like promote it here. Maybe in the future, who knows. I just kind of want him to. If you guys want it, it's right there. But I'm not gonna put it on my channel or anything like that. I don't even use it. So, but it was super cool, and the idea of studying it through like a camera lens was something I hadn't even considered. So 100%, all of these tips are extremely helpful. Like, it's crazy. I think Coral, I think I wrote this off as like a we're gonna read this too, actually. I don't know why I forgot about this one. Coral Summers, I think the difficulty with foreshortening is usually due to some issue with perspective. Looking at the result, I do think that is the case here. I also agree. Trying to go back from basic forms like boxes and cylinders and try to fully understand those in perspective, when come back to characters and try again, you'll likely have much better result and look forward to seeing how you improve. Appreciate it, dude. I tried doing it in basic shapes. I think if you look at the speed drawing right here, ooh, where the hell is it? No, I'm gonna mute this. So you see how I start off with circles, and tubes. Afterwards, I tried again using more tubes. As you can see the tube here, the cylinder tube right there. But obviously, I need to do it a little bit better. It really does a little funky, and I think I kind of just do one tube and I skip the second tube. I skipped the forearm entirely because I think the hand would just cover it. So might need to have to work on that, because if you look at his drawing, you can kind of see like shoulder segment right there covered off by the sleeve, and then you have a second forearm segment, and then the hand comes afterwards. Maybe it's that. We'll figure it out. We'll learn it. But I appreciate all of you guys. Again, thank you very much. So that segment is over. But I will always appreciate it. And guys, if you guys any more critiques anytime, please give them to me. But let's head on to this. Now, these are the notes that she gave me. Kai, I'm gonna put you can find most of her socials underneath Caerulleo, and I'll put it in the description, so please check it out whenever possible. Here I'm gonna be quiet for a little bit and give a segment where I'm going to show off a bit of her artwork. She sent it to me so you can look at all of these. They're very cool, very amazing, but I'm gonna leave the best one for last, which is, in my opinion, so cool. It looks so sick every single time I see it. It looks amazing. So, but there's many pieces here that I very much enjoy. There's she draws a lot of Magic the Gathering cards, and the last one's gonna be a Magic the Gathering card. But the dinosaur one, the little one with a dinosaur, is I think it's a commander card. I'm not particularly sure. I'm not too into MTG as much as my other friends are, but I still like to play the game. But they're very sick drawings. There's another one that I wanted you guys to see, but she didn't send it. I should have asked her for it. I don't know why. But there's one where it's like they're having boba tea together, and I keep talking about that one whenever I see her, because I really like it. I think it's like a really cute concept where you have two MTG characters kind of just drinking boba tea. I should have asked for it, but it wasn't done, and I didn't want to, I didn't want to like show an incomplete drawing, so that's probably why I didn't ask her. But look at this final one though. I'm gonna show you the final one. This looks sick. She drew this. Like, imagine if this was an actual, like, you could totally understand if this was an actual Magic the Gathering card. It looks super dope. So it's crazy. So now that you kind of have a area of her skill level, and again, please check her in the description. I'll kind of like I'm gonna ask for links, but you can find most of her socials under at Caerulleo, and I'll type the name out. I'll leave the name in the title. I'll leave the name. It'll be like title, video title, featuring Caerulleo and comments. I'll probably just do something like that. That's probably gonna be what the title is. But we're going to be reacting this video. So this video this week is gonna be a little bit longer. We're going to be reacting to this video that she sent me. It's an 8-minute long video where she kind of goes throughout and kind of like gives me critiques and tries to correct her stuff. And then we're going to be, and she numbers them. So we're gonna be matching the number with the notes. All right. So I think I'm gonna watch this at 0.5 speed, because I'm lazy and I can't sit still for too long watching a video. So there's no audio to the video, by the way, so it's okay, don't worry about it. We're gonna add background music when I'm watching it. So let's watch it. So number one, I'm gonna read her notes while the drawing kind of continues. I think she's already talking about the line of action. Yeah, see, there we go. It's already a line of action. What are we talking about right here? That's already a line of action. So obviously, there's a clear issue. Everyone seems to have a clear issue of my line of action and how it's very straight and boring. The pose. So note number one, the pose. You have a dramatic movement in the hair and dramatic, powerful action being portrayed, yet there is hardly any drama in the pose. The spine is straight up and down, which makes her look stiff. Adding a curve to the spine and exaggerating her stance into a more dramatic one helps to add movement and make the flow of the drawing more interesting to match the action. Even something as simple as slightly wrapping the finished drawing improves it slightly. Then positioning her legs slightly further apart makes her feel well balanced. I didn't think of that. So yeah, as you can see right here, she's clearly trying to fix up the drawing, but there's only really so much you can do with my drawing underneath. But there's clearly a concept problem. There's clearly a problem with my line of action where 3 people have pointed it out. That's crazy. That's unbelievable. So if you have that many people pointing it out, it's obviously an issue. And hopefully with my next drawing, because I have a couple drawings like that are ready to be shown, but they just seem to be having a bit of issue. I still think they're very stiff, so I'm trying to keep drawing until I'll keep making shorts, and then I'll post full videos whenever I have them, like an actual good one that I'm willing to show. But let's just continue. I think we're on to number 2 now. There we go, number 2. Yeah, so if you watch my most recent video, I mentioned that the fingers specifically were the worst part. I think the fingers were the ugliest part of the drawing, because I got the main shape of the hand, but drawing 2 other tubes that kind of flick up, and the reference I used, the fingers were, when they got closer to the audience perspective, it doubled, it swelled up in size, and I didn't know how to portray that without having it being like kind of like broken. It looks like the first 2 joints of the finger are snapped upwards, so it looks pretty bad. Let's look at her notes. The hand. The foreshortening of the fingers is off. You did great with the size of the hand and perspective on the rest of it, but when it comes to those 2 fingers, I can see how you might have struggled to get the perspective correct. Here I made an attempt to fix the perspective. I don't want the video to go too far. Making the 2 tips of the fingers pointing forward and getting larger along with angling up a bit. The thumb also needs to be a bit larger and longer, possibly. If you look at the previous video that I did, I had trouble. Yeah, right. I skipped right to it. I had trouble, even though it's sped up. I had trouble with the thumb, and I kept redrawing it a couple. I already lost it. I lost it. What the fuck? I shouldn't have cussed. Yeah, so I redraw the thumb a bit of times because I didn't like how it looked. But I ended up giving up on it and going back because I didn't know how to do it. And also you can see that I actually attempted to extend the fingers. I don't think it happened in the final piece, but maybe I should have kept that too, because I kind of want her to kind of loosely hold her finger out. But whatever. But yeah, I also added a slightly different pose that I might have chosen if it was my drawing. Instead of pointing down the hand, it is more tilted upwards. So she's right, because you can clearly see that the angle of the palm is pointing down, not up. It might have looked better that way. I guess hers does look palm up. I kind of wanted to give her like a loose, relaxed feeling though, where she's not too intense. Like she's shooting off a ball of lightning, but it's almost easy for her that she doesn't need to be uptight and stressed out about it. She's easily disposing of some random burglar or something like that, maybe some henchman. So to her it's lax. It feels like there's no need for her to tense up or apply any more pressure than she needs to, because it's so easy for her. But maybe that might have worked against me because it made it a little bit harder, or maybe have made the pose less easy to read. The angle of the fingers and her thumbs frames her face nicely in this pose, but it also covers a section of the hair. It is slightly easier to figure out the perspective of this pose, so I thought it could give you more options to play with. You'd have to also bring her arm out on the side for a bit. That's true. It seems that with also the other Julia drawing that the dude made, he seemed to have brought out the arm a little bit more. It kind of goes down. Mine just kind of goes out straight. So it might have some, it might warrant some of that at this point. Let's see it. So let's go to set. This video is gonna be a whole jumbled mess, guys, because I don't typically do these live ones, live quote unquote. Yeah, so she would have angled him up like that. I might have to give that a try. I might have to give that. That does look a lot better. Doesn't that hand look a lot better? It does look a lot better. Tip number 2 is pretty big. Yeah, that does look a lot better, doesn't it? That looks sick. That definitely looks like a better angle to do it from. Who knows? Might have to try that out. And the arm kind of comes from the side. Yes, I see. All right, so tip number 3. Let's read over the note for this one. Tip number 3, little tweaks. With her back arm, I'd have a shoulder sticking out a little further and change the shape of her breast to have a little more weight towards the bottom instead. We're talking about boobies now. Instead of looking squished into her chest. That's true. I didn't want to make it too big, I guess. I'm not very... Okay. Despite me drawing mostly women, all of my drawings so far that I posted on this channel are women. I tend to avoid drawing the breast. Not because it makes me uncomfortable or anything. I don't know. I just kind of forget about it. I don't really like care too much about having it too big. I just like having it like a very average, normal size. That I don't really want it to be like a focus or anything like that. Like I feel like a lot of people who draw anime like can make it really big and everything like that, but I don't really care. I don't really care to see it that big. So I kind of just like draw like a little bump and that's about it. I kind of just leave it like that. Let's see. I think she's talking about the tips on the bottom where she gives me compliments. So, to have a little more weight on the bottom instead of looking squished to her chest. With the back hand, I'd have just the thumb area of her hand overlapping the fingers and angling down a little more. Currently, the fingers are almost at a 90-degree angle to her hand, which is not impossible, but doesn't seem relaxed as it should. You're right. If my goal was to create Julie in a relaxed pose, it makes sense that her fingers should be more relaxed and her whole body be more relaxed. Because I can't just say I'm going to make her more relaxed and then just make it like the most stressed out hand pose that no one ever does. So this hand pose definitely looks a lot better. I'll take that into consideration. The rest of it kind of looks like she's just going to give me some compliments. The head is perfect. Don't touch the head. So good. You've got that down. Thank you. I appreciate it. I'd angle the bottom of her top bra to be curving the opposite direction. You have her chest facing upward in comparison to her downward facing hips. So you want the curve to also go up. That's fair. That makes sense. It seems like I'm using like two different angles. Like if you ever taken, I don't want to go into it. If you ever taken an art class, if you ever watch like really old art, they'll probably tell you like a lot of perspectives for like using 2 perspectives at a time. But they'll probably use like the Mother Mary old painting where the chair that she's sitting on seems to have multiple perspective angles. But you're right. If I'm going to keep one curved up, I should also do the other one. You're right. I got that. Don't forget the belly button adds to sexy. Thank you. I wasn't going for that, but appreciate it. Definitely does. Again, with the legs, spread them apart a little bit more to help with the pose. Also with thighs, the shape is more square than most would think. You have yours 2 triangular. So mine are 2 triangular. Okay, I didn't even think about that. I didn't even think the thighs were that big of a problem. I'm not very good at drawing legs. And tapering off too dramatically. Think of the thigh as a cylinder with a bit of padding on the inside for the muscle. Understood. That does look more natural, actually. It does. Yeah, I understand. If you look at my drawing right here, I think those are the corrected version. Oh no, she's using my right. So as you can see, so her hips are much more square than mine are. Mine kind of just go boom, boom. Mine's kind of like if you look at the thigh, boom. It's clearly a triangular shape without any padding right here. It seems like too that she seems to have added some padding right here and then made it go out a little further with more of a curved line right here. I get that, makes sense. It definitely makes it look more natural. I think I wanted to give her more of an... I typically, when I draw women, I give them more of an angular look because they're typically... When I think of femininity, I think of like kind of flexibility, quickness, a bit of alertness, they can be quick in and out, kind of like that. I kind of think of that vibe. So I kind of give them more of a triangular shaped body and kind of more skinny features. So maybe I should work with that. Maybe I should add more like... Try to be more comfortable with adding something like more muscle to them, make it a little more thicker, using different shapes, being more used to using square shapes than just triangle shapes. So I get that. And lastly, add a little bit more movement to her jacket. Yeah, it does kind of just flop down, doesn't it? I guess her hair is being pulled this way. It might be cool to add like a counter. Yeah, you're right. Have it move in a direction that we have her hips moving with the added drama to her pose. Yeah, with the pose being so stiff and the line of action being so straight, it comes with the territory that my jacket also would follow my boring line of action. So if we change the line of action, I should also remember to change her clothing and other accessories she's wearing to match the line of action. You're right. I got it. I gotcha. So yeah. That's all the notes she's given me, and that's a lot of stuff. So hopefully maybe you guys learned a thing or two also, because it's very good to always get critiques from other people. But damn, that's a lot of advice. It's gonna take me a couple of days to get it fully absorbed. This video is already pretty long in of itself. I'm not really comfortable with making videos to 23 minutes of recording, but damn, That's a lot of information, legitimately so much information. I'm gonna have to reread her notes later on, and I'm going to have to rewatch that winged canvas video and all of these tips. But guys, thanks a lot. I very much appreciate these tips. You guys have no idea how much this means to me. Legitimately, I'm trying to get a bit of I'm trying to get you guys to understand how much I really do appreciate these. The blocks, like walls, when you're drawing, you typically hit a wall and you typically don't know where to go next, you know? Like sometimes you even might hit into like a bit of this ego where you're like, oh, my drawings are good now and I don't want to improve anymore because I think they're fine. But that's not what I want to stick to. I want to stick to the idea that I always have room to improve. Like it's especially how when I see other people's art, I can't possibly think that my art is good enough, right? I like it and I appreciate it. I don't want to think like, oh, I'm just a Debbie Downer, I hate all my artwork. No. I appreciate my progress, but I need to understand that like with every wall that I hit, it's nice for other people to be there to be able to tear those walls down in a positive note and give me constructive criticism so I can further build upon my skill and get better. It does me no good to sit around assuming that I'm the best that I already am. So I should take the time out of my day to sit down and heavily critique my art, and that's what it really is all about. It's sitting down and heavily critiquing your art to ensure that you can consistently progress instead of being up in the clouds and thinking that you're perfect. So guys, hopefully that makes it very clear. I appreciate every single one of your comments, and I really much am super glad that you guys are doing this for me, and I cannot wait to hopefully receive more from you guys. And I appreciate it. You guys really did a bang up job. Like you gave me consistent, really good advice. Kai did a fantastic job. Again, I can't say this enough. Her stuff is in the description. If you guys want to see it, I will try to find links to her Instagram or her Twitter, regardless of the fact that she didn't give them to me. We'll do that. And again, you guys made this video very fun. My highest viewed video, most liked. Comments were crazy. I will always appreciate you. You sent me a drawing. What? What is this? This looks so dope. Anyway, I appreciate it, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Drink some water. I have a glass of water, a bottle of water. So I misplaced it somewhere. And I hope you guys have a wonderful one, guys. Take good care. Bye-bye.